In light of StockX being sued for selling Nike fake sneakers, I wanted to take a page out of Nike's book and order sneakers from StockX and see if we can tell if they're real or fake. Now I want to do this on 3 different levels. On the first level of this, I want to take some of the most expensive recent pairs that have dropped and a pair of Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, buy them for a very expensive price and see if they are real or not. At the second level, I want to buy some sneakers that are super common. I want to buy a pair that's been sold over probably 1 million times in maybe even a month on StockX and see if they're just letting them fly through and pass through. And on the third level, I want to buy some streetwear because clothing is a little bit more harder to authenticate than sneakers and see if a brand like Hellstar is getting passed through with fakes pretty easily. So let's head to the computer, spend some money on StockX, and hopefully we don't lose it all and get some fake stuff in from StockX. So we ordered 3 items from StockX and the first one came in. This pair right here is the most expensive one and the most hype one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbox it, see how the shoes came, and then we're gonna authenticate them through some authentication apps and see if they come back as real or fake. We'll see. So this package actually came from, I believe, their Hong Kong factory. It came from overseas, but let's go ahead and open them up. Here's the packaging, inside bubble wrap, and here's the pair. The way that looked at an angle, it was tripping me out for a second. I think I'm just overthinking this. Okay, I thought I was overthinking this. Is this the same one? This is for the dark mocha. I don't know, this could be because of the sizing, but can you see? Look at the, yeah, it's like, that's all off. The whole sheen of it's off. It's over here. I kept looking, I was like, that's weird. But that's not on this pair. This could be because it's on this too, but maybe because it's a smaller size. I don't know if it's because it's a smaller size. That could be a factor in it, but I just had never seen that before. So automatically weird off the bat. Let's pull these out. We got the box, papers. Here is the laces, and then the pair. So we do have the StockX verified tag, so we will be scanning that. It smells like a shoe. Let's see, this is the black laces and the yellow laces, or yellow pink laces. That's all you get. I guess they don't send a StockX card anymore because they used to do that with the pricing and everything on it. So here's the pair. From a visual inspection, if a shoe's gonna get through in StockX, it's probably better than I could do an inspection by my eyes, just off of initial look. All this stuff looks decent. I'll pull out from this other pair. Yeah, I mean, this looks the same. That's not gonna be anything we're gonna look at. What we're gonna do is run them through apps. Well, first let's scan the QR code. Now I know on certain, like eBay, when you get the eBay authentication, they do like a tap thing and you can actually see the exact pair that you bought in size. With StockX in the past, it just takes you to a page that says verify. Yeah, it doesn't pull up anything. It just pulls up numbers. So not sure about that, but let's go ahead and run these through some apps. First we're gonna do, and this is not sponsored at all. I've been sponsored by both apps we're gonna use in the past, but right now it's not. On CheckCheck, I currently, if you use CheckCheck, this would be crazy. I have 9,939 credits, which is pretty insane. So I got checks for life. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Nike, go to Nike basketball, skip, all right. First thing that they want is size tag left. The reason we're doing this separate from the other 2 pairs is we're gonna probably be taking the other 2 pairs to a local store so they can authenticate them to get more of a super accurate reading of it. This is the most annoying part about taking these photos, is taking the photo of the size tag. All right, I got it. Let's take a look at the appearance. Right size tag. Back of the left insole. All right, that was every possible photo known to man. So that should be good, 9 photos. What? CheckCheck Premium for under 5 minutes. Man, I got 10,000 credits. All right, the next one we're gonna do is Poison. CheckCheck does cost money to legit check. They're pretty good at what they do with it. Poison, on the other hand, is free. And so I've used them a good bit. So we will now use Poison as well. So this is gonna sound like an ad. With Poison, you take a photo of the shoe and it will like use AI to detect what the shoe is, so it already knows what it's gonna be authenticating, which is pretty cool. So initially, Poison only asks you for 4 photos, but typically on something that's a little more expensive like this, they will ask for more photos. I'm gonna attach them anyway, because I think both systems use AI and human authentication. So all right, so I just submitted. I'll go to my authentications, and now we have to wait, and we will check back in when we get the results, and I hope that I don't see it before. So we will check back in probably 10-15 minutes. All right, so I haven't seen the results yet, but we got the results back for both apps. Let's go first to check. We'll go, and it says that they did pass. So that is for the first pair there. And then we'll go over first check, the second check, go to Poison, and they passed Poison as well. So these came back as all good. As far as the box goes, with this kind of like looking like an outline, that is weird. Could just be a misprint, could be that it's not getting through the authentication apps, but we are pretty much mainly gonna go after the authentication apps for these, and kind of go by that, because that's where in the lawsuit, if you guys didn't see, the guy claimed that the shoes came back fake. So that's gonna be the first pair there, and we will check back in. We're supposedly not seeing the other 2 items for another like 10 days. So that sucks. That's another aspect of some of the issues with StockX, but first pair passed, and I guess it's good because it wasn't a $400, $500 wasted worth of money.
That one right there. Just want to see if you notice anything about them.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything, but
Where'd you get it?
StockX.
This is very sloppy. I'm gonna get one of our pairs to compare, but that is most definitely sloppy.
I mean,
and it's a little bit
if we
dry
compare for
here.
brand new and
I'm grabbing one of ours. It's like not the same material to some degree.
I wonder if that's a sizing thing, or
I mean, in theory, but even the 2 greens are a little bit different. That toe box is a different color. This material like moves a little bit. This does not move at all. It's not supposed to be like a dry material. Like it's dry, but there's a little bit of movement to it.
so what would you think the reasoning behind them passing on an app like Check or an app like Poison would be?
It will be a little bit.
With it being online, it's very difficult to necessarily, you can't feel the material.
What would be your final opinion on them?
I really don't like this material on it.
I think it's definitely worth talking about that it's even questionable. It shouldn't be questionable.
So we initially checked on the apps and they were fine, the first 2 apps. We have another one we're gonna try. We took it to a store and they weren't 100% sure on them. They pointed out a lot of things that would lead to believe that they are fake. So we have them back here. We're gonna put them to another app, which I've heard is really good, which is a legit app. But we also have another pair right here that we purchased from a local store. This is from a store, Luxury Box Atlanta. And this is just a half size bigger, so should be a good comparison. Obviously, initially, the whole misprint on the box is one of those things where it just looks like the laminate is shifted. It's one of those things that's different, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that they said also earlier. So actually first, let's put this properly. I wanna have the papers to compare side by side. Now a reset. So side by side, here are the papers. Now, from what they mentioned, the paper looks different. This looks a little bit darker. Yeah, I mean, we're talking small things here, but the paper does, this one definitely looks lighter. Could be a sun thing, but these are new shoes, so don't think so on that. As far as the other paper, this is a totally different material of paper. Totally different. Which is, again, small details, but this is like grainy and this is kind of smooth. But let's pull out the shoes. we'll pull out now we know which one's which because it's a half size difference. The left shoe for each of them. So here we go with the left shoe. Let's look at the differences. Off rip, they don't look that much different. I mean, this material is a little bit, actually, this material, even though it's a suede, it's not a lot. This actually still has a little bit of movement in it. That one, not so much. Yeah, it's so hard to tell. We're looking at minute. This is a huge difference. Look at the size of the head on the back. Look how different that is.
What?
That's like a crazy size difference. That's way different. That's crazy. So that's for that shoe. Let's go to this one. So this is gonna be the newest pair we got, the real pair. This is the pair from StockX. Now let's look at the heel. Actually, let me look at them first before. So, oh my gosh. Look how much worse this pair is. That's so much worse. Now, one thing that we did do is, which is annoying, is we took off the StockX tag when we left, but it's still the same. You guys can look at it, compare it side by side when we had them on. It's gonna look the same as that. Just based off of some of those things that he mentioned, like, you can just tell the differences there. So this is going to be our pair from a local store that we believe is real from their authentications. This is the pair from StockX. Look at the differences. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Oh, I see. Yeah, so one of the things they point out is the stitching goes into the swoosh here, and on this pair it doesn't, which is the authentic pair. So, but we're gonna go one more level of this, and we're gonna take them to our boy Khan. If you guys know Khan, I would argue he's one of the best authenticators in Atlanta. He's our go-to trusted, and so we're gonna go to him once we have our two other items in from StockX. We're still waiting on the Pandas and the Hellstar tee, but right now, things are not looking good, and I'm not sure what to do because they did introduce their new 14-day return policy, so that's like a good way for me to get my money back because I paid $700 for these. But also, then it takes away actually, I don't even know if I can return them because I took this off. So we'll see what happens with that because I might have just been out $700. All right, so we're on the Legit app now. I don't know if I have to pay for this. I've never used this before. But probably somebody who watches these videos, stole my username on there. So I had to make a different one. So I don't have any Legit tokens, which is 5 tokens. So I'm gonna have to pay for that, but that's fine. I'll just keep losing money on these shoes because why not? Exterior shoe right. One of the issues that I have with these apps is not being able to like focus their cameras inside the app. This one does, but some of them don't do that, which is a pain, honestly. Dude, there's so many more photos in this than some of these other apps. This is way more photos. $5 tokens for $5. $5. So it's gonna take 15 minutes. We'll check in like 10 minutes and let you guys know how things look. I know I just made a video on this, but let me read the StockX return policy. No fee resale, I bet. This item is final sale. StockX is a live marketplace and return policy will vary in each item. This item is not eligible for return. I can no fee resell it through their app, which I would honestly like to experiment, but I don't want to screw somebody over. Like, I've always had that idea of trying to put a fake shoe through their app, but I've never done it because I don't want somebody to get a fake shoe that's paying for a real one. So the only way to do that is to like somehow buy your own listing, but then I'm spending double the money on fake shoes. So Legit app needs more photos. All right, I gotta do this all over again, guys, but just know I'm submitting more photos. Authentication completed, and they don't give you the exact answer, which I like. So let's see what they came back with. Authentic.
What?
Yeah. This is interesting. Because I can see why they would pass through StockX at this point, because they probably are using similar things as apps like this. But it's 3 apps that say they're real. But we're looking at things that are like, you can't even see the A in this. The A is not there. It's like not legible. It doesn't even look like an A. It's like a triangle. I don't know. There's no way that a half size can be that much.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's still a men's shoe. That's the thing, is like it's not like it's a men's versus kids shoe. They're both men's shoes. They're men's sizing. Men's size 6.5 and a men's size 7. Look at the swoosh here. How it's like dirty. It's like gunk coming out of it. I don't know, man. Let's wait for the other items to come in, and then we'll take them to Con. We're not gonna tell him anything about them. We're just gonna say we need you to legit check them and see. But I'm confused on this. I don't know what to think. Also, I don't know why I'm sitting like this, but we're just chilling. All right, we'll see you guys. The other stuff gets delivered tomorrow, so Saturday. We'll see you guys on Monday with these items. All right, so we received the next 2 shipments in. It's been a few days after we've been going through all the hassle with these, trying to figure out what's going on. We got 2 more items in. One, we're not gonna be able to authenticate ourselves, which is why right after this, we're going to our favorite authenticator in the city, and they're gonna authenticate it, but that is going to be Hellstar. These apps don't really have brands like Hellstar in there, but we do have a StockX verification tag. And for clothing, I know it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Well, maybe it won't be for some people, but for me, it's a little more difficult because it's so simple. And I think a lot of places print on like the same type quality blanks. And so like Denim Tears is often very fake, Hellstar as well. So this is one that we will see. The fact that it comes with the bag and everything makes me believe it's probably good, but we'll see from there. And then we're gonna go to the next pair, which is gonna be probably like one of the most passed through pairs through StockX, if I had to guess, which is gonna be the Panda Dunk. So let's take this out. See, this, we didn't get, oh, this is a special offers thing. There was the receipt, we didn't get that with that one, and I don't think they do that anymore, but here it is, the Panda Dunk. I noticed also what they do now is they put a QR code scan on there. I know GOAT has been doing that for a very long time, but I believe StockX just started doing it somewhat recently. Maybe it's been the last year or two, but like over the last 5-6 years they haven't. So let's check these out. This is a pair that is insanely highly produced, and I would imagine they probably sell 1 million of these a year, if not more. Which is crazy. So I'm gonna run these through the legit app, but in reality, the main thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna be taking all the pairs to a local store and getting them to authenticate it, because I believe that will be our best final way of doing it, because with the Travis Scotts, we're kind of in a weird spot with them where these apps are saying that they're real. The sneaker store is questionable about them because of some of the aspects of them, and I agree with them. My thought process though is, with these apps, I feel like they're using the same technology that like StockX will be using with their big authentication machines, because that's how I believe they do it. So to me, it's gonna be like, there's not a ton of difference in StockX authentication in this. So I feel like if they're saying that they're real on StockX end, these apps are gonna say it as well. And that's where you have somebody who's like an expert to give a good second opinion. So I'm not gonna bore you guys too much with taking pictures, because I've done this so many times, and ooh, I hate this shoe for taking pictures of the size tag. This is probably the worst part about authenticating, is trying to get, like, this is what I'm talking about. The Check app doesn't allow you to focus on what you're trying to take a picture of. So like I don't know, this is probably not even making any sense, but like it's so hard for me to focus on the size tag because I can't zoom in and tap it. Request submitted, and Now I gotta put this stuff back inside, and we're gonna go over to Static Atlanta. I don't know what to do about, because I was on video when I said that it was final sale, right, Nick? We were filming when I found that out. No, that this pair specifically on StockX says no return. Yeah, I don't know if we were talking, but I was looking on stock. I think I did, but their new return policy, apparently this one doesn't fall under that. And especially one that we're being told might not be real. So, and I spent $700 on them. Look at this though, look how bad quality that is. You can literally see so much glue there. And even if they're real, like I wouldn't doubt that that's a problem. But if any of you have sold on StockX, they will look at a piece of dust back here on my shoe and be like, send it back. This is not real. This is too bad quality. We cannot take this. And then they're sending me one with straight glue marks all down the side. Yeah, I don't know. This is bad quality though. And I just think dunks in general have gotten to so low quality because I wonder the number of how many Nike has made of these. It's probably absurd. But we're gonna go to Static Atlanta. I keep saying it, and get these authenticated and pray I didn't lose $700. This is like $1,000 total between these three. Trying to prove a point. All right, we're back in the chilling, waiting for authentication results position. And I got the check back and it passed. So the pandas passed. Honestly, not really surprised because like I said, I think that the authentication methods that StockX is using is gonna be like similar to anything of these apps because there's not that human element to it. When we bring in the human element is when I believe with somebody with proper knowledge can give a proper opinion. So, and I think even me, like I pointed out something. So let's go ahead and get the real test. This will be probably, if we get questionable answers, we'll keep going to stores, but I feel like this should be the way to get our definite answer. All right, we're here at the Expert Con. We want to have you look through these and just authenticate them. We purchased them all as real, so we want to make sure and see if you can give a second opinion. We don't know with Hellstar. I don't know if you're good with Hellstar.
Yeah, I've had a couple of Hellstar items here, so I can give it a try. Check these. See, you got these from StockX.
Yep.
Yep. Then we look at the
Is that an authentication
NFTs,
for the StockX tag?
yeah,
the
like
black
you
light?
show like a hidden X under it.
Interesting. I didn't know
Because
that.
on the fake one, they don't have the, the watermark on StockX.
Ah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Check these. You gotta scan these. There you go. Hellstar, Dog Dopamine. Yep, these are from the real website.
Oh, so I didn't even know that they have a... it's
Like an
a
NFC tag, yeah.
Interesting.
But the shirt look good. Because I think this time hasn't sold out yet on the website.
Oh,
on
so
day.
probably not a super faked item.
Gotcha. The shirts are good.
So you think that one's good?
Yeah.
All right, next up. This is gonna be one of the most highly produced shoes.
All-time grails right here. Left shoes. Oh, yeah. One thing about StockX that they always got to be on the left shoes.
Left shoe, interesting, okay.
Yeah, these are good as well.
Those are good.
Yeah, I don't think people would waste time making fake sympathy because these go for like super cheap right now.
Yeah. And then this one here.
Medium olive, Travis. Yeah, these look good to me as well.
They're good. So we've gotten, with those, everything was bought from StockX, and with those, we like, on all the apps, they look good, but then there's a few things on them that were like, we want to try to double check. Like if you look at the heel, the Air Jordan, see how it's like the stitching is bad?
Yeah, because I've seen the font too. Just because these are 6.5 men's.
This is that size.
Because I have never come across any size smaller than a 7 in the US release.
Okay.
So it probably got to be somewhere like overseas or something.
They came from Japan when I ordered them, yeah. So for those, do you have any closed sizes or no?
No, I don't got any like small size.
Yeah. So because we took them to another store, Grail Nation, and they compared it to an 8, and it was like there are some things where it's like tough, but I guess that would be interesting if sizing wise they didn't release the 6.5 in the US, and that would make it a little bit different potentially.
Because I've seen a lot of people looking for smaller size, but nobody has it.
Yeah. And then for on the box, we think it's just a mislaminate. You see how it's like a little bit off. I think maybe, I don't think that's a thing to say it would be fake. Maybe just like the way they printed it was not perfect.
But it's still $130 shoes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you cannot expect them to be like
perfect,
super perfect. But these look good to me.
Looks good, okay. Good, because that would have been $700 wasted. So we bought all the pairs from StockX, and we were seeing if we can.
Who cut the tag on the?
This one, I took it. I'm an idiot, and I took it off right when we finished filming the first one. So I should have left it on. But we were concerned about these, and then we were like, oh, do we return them because they have a new return policy? But then that return policy doesn't apply for this one. It's like final sale. I don't know, maybe because it came from overseas. But that is interesting. I did not know about the sizing.
Yeah, because I've had so many requests that ask for like smaller size, but I had never come across
them. Yeah,
even like I asked a lot of resellers and they don't have small size.
I think I asked every single store in Atlanta if they had a 6.5 so we can compare exactly. Every store had a 7, but not a 6.5. Nobody. And then these did come from Hong Kong when I ordered them from StockX.
Yeah, even if you try to buy like a 5.5, it's gonna be harder.
Yeah. Interesting, well that's good to know. And I'm glad that I did not get fleeced for $700 shoes off StockX because that would have hurt, but that was the main thing we needed. Thank you, Con.
No problem.
We call you the #1 authenticator in Atlanta, so I trust you over anybody else in the city.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So of the 3 things that we bought from StockX, from our trusted friend Con, I believe what he says and that they're all authentic and real. What makes a lot more sense about these now is that this was a size that was potentially only made overseas, and so which would make some of the details a little bit different from even one that's a half size or a size above it. And so with Con, I saw how extensive you looked at them. All the apps say that they're real, so I'm gonna say that these are real from StockX and that the discrepancies on the certain things are mainly going to be because of sizing, because Travis doesn't do the smaller sizes. I trust and believe in Con, and I'm glad that they're real because that would have been $700 that I was out. Next up, Panda Dunks. These are real as well. I thought maybe since they make so many of them and sell so many of them that they would be more faked, but apparently not. But they are not that great of shape in general, but they passed as well. And then the Hellstar Tee. Now, the Hellstar Tee is good, but I wanted to talk about where I would purchase any of these from because obviously the question is where you should buy from. Right now, my most trusted would be GOAT, not sponsored, but I do want to compare what I paid on these versus what you would have paid on GOAT and see if it's worth it for some people. I think the difference is that there's a little bit more of a risk with StockX than GOAT, in my opinion, and so you can save money on StockX, but it's at the expense of worrying about if it's real or not, in my opinion. So for the Travis Scotts, I paid out the door $701.23 for this exact size, 6.5 men's. If I bought the same pair on GOAT, it would have been $753.76. So you're spending about $53 more if you got it from GOAT. It's a peace of mind thing, in my opinion. Before fees, on GOAT, these were $693, and then I don't even know if I can see, they're $587 on StockX. So the fees on StockX are crazy. They had the purchase price of $587, $50 sales tax, $48 processing fee, and then a $15 shipping fee. And then on GOAT, all you're paying is the tax and the shipping. The processing fee on StockX is just crazy, and that's why prices are so low on there and there's such discrepancies. So that's what that would have been. For the Panda Dunks on StockX, they're freaking cheap. $94.71, that's below retail after tax and everything. And on GOAT, you would have paid $99.85. So about a $5 difference. But I don't think many people are buying these off of GOAT, in my opinion, because you can get them for $60 at the mall. And then Hellstar Tee, I paid total $157.74 for this on StockX, and on GOAT, the same thing would be $213.80. So the moral of this is that the sneaker game is tough right now because fakes are so good, and it's all about trust and who you trust and what you trust. For me, I right now trust Go and eBay more than I do StockX, but they did prove themselves as 3 out of 3 right here. I had a good sample size. What I would never do, most likely, is buy a shoe that's worth over $1,000 on StockX. If it's an off-white Chicago Jordan 1, probably not gonna do it. If it's a friends and family Travis Scott, definitely not gonna do it on StockX. I would look more towards trust people, but I don't think many people are buying those anymore, or as of right now, not many people are buying those. So if you guys wanna see a video on me shopping on all the platforms, the current platforms, because there's a lot more than when I've done it before. There's Poison, there's Goat, there's eBay. There's a lot of different marketplaces and places you can buy from. Let me know in the comments down below, and be safe when shopping out there. And luckily, we did not get finessed, so thank you StockX for that. YouTube thinks that you'll like the video that's up on the screen, so go ahead and check that out and subscribe if you enjoy the content.